Hello crafty friends, this is Jamie with Nona's Journals, and I want to share today a journal I made with a spring, early summer theme. It is called Love Blooms. It is a soft covered journal. I printed this fabric off. I believe this fabric was from Louie Vanille on, they used to be on Etsy, but he's moved or she has moved, and I will have to link her at the bottom for her new site. But anyway, so this doily is on the spine, and then the back is fairly plain. I did make it where the doily is attached, but the closure is just fed through the doily on the side here, so that if you didn't like it, if you prefer not to have a journal with a tie, you could take it out, or if you want to change it out, or if it becomes damaged in some way, I just figured I would make that easy to change out. I did slow stitch around some of these flowers on here and around the edges. There are French knots on here, and the same as on the back. It's just not as well. Maybe there's maybe not as many French knots, but I did sew about slow stitch about the same around the flowers. All right, so that is kind of it for the cover. It is kind of squishy. It's firm, but it still has a nice feel. The measurements are 9 inches by 6.5 inches, and the mouth closed is about 3¼ inches. It's one signature with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and the details. Let's see. I mostly use my Porch prints, Louie Vanille, Paper Daisy journals for a lot of the tags, and I know Raindrop Lila for a lot of the scripture verses in here. I'll try to point some of those things out as we go through. It does have this little beaded addition to the doily, and then I did make it a tassel that also comes off. It's just like a bookmark. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a flip through. I try to make it easy for either journaling or picture keeping, or both, or just memory keeping. I try to make it as versatile as possible. This is the tassel, and it just is like a bookmark. It just comes out. I have this little pocket over here that I did sew on, and it just has some ephemera pieces. This is like a little hidden journaling spot. It has a card in here that you can journal on the back. I know this is Paper Daisy journals. All these kind of flowered ones are from her. And then I have a hymn, Love Divine. It's one of my favorite old hymns. This is my Porch prints. This cover, I printed the fabric off as well, the back cover, and it is Louie Vanille. So most of the small little prints are going to be Louie Vanille, and the other things are going to be my Porch prints. And this is Shabby Art Boutique. So that's where this is from. It's from one of her kits, and it's just a little booklet here that I have some extra journaling pages in here for you. You could use in the journal, so you don't actually have to write in your journal. There's several of them in here. I believe these are sample, and that's just kind of a little addition I put in there. I try to make it where a 4x6 index card or picture you could put everywhere, so that would fit in here. And then this is a little tuck spot here that has some cards in it, tags, and then this would fit here as well. So I kind of try to make it as versatile for whoever would like to buy it. It's on my Etsy shop right now. And these are some tags. This is Raindrop Lila. Oh, this is, I don't think I have too many of hers in here, but this is Nanda, I forgot, and the apple of his eye. I think that's what hers is. I'll list her down at the bottom too. And most of these crochet trims I did weave ribbon through, and I either tied it or did a bow at the bottom. This is just a little envelope flip out. This is Shabby Art Boutique. And I do have some cards in here. And then all my cards, most of the cards are going to be blank on the back so that you have extra journaling room. And these are some cards over here. This is Sampool. And this is the apple of his eye. So like I said, this little tuck spot would hold a 4x6 card. You could clip something onto this if you wanted to and have some extra storage there. This has a big pocket here that has a large extra journaling spot that I made. And then these are all just plain. There's several in here. Journaling cards. And this has a little bow at the end. You could snip that off if you don't like it, if it bothers you, or if it becomes, you know, damaged in some way. You could just snip that off because those are secured in along the side. This is going to be Raindrop Lila. And this is a double pocket here. So you've got 2 pockets there, and this is just a little side tuck with a little ephemera piece in it. None of my ephemera pieces are vintage. They may be copies of vintage things, but they're not actually vintage. This is Sampool, the apple of his eye, Paper Daisy Journals. And this is a little hidden tuck spot here. And journaling spot, I have a brad here so it swings out like this. And you can swing it this way and this way. You could clip something behind there that you want to keep. It's just kind of like a fun interactive thing. And these pieces here, I hand crocheted. So this is some like trim that I put some ribbon through, a doily that I crocheted. And then this is a rose that I made to go like here in the journal somewhere, but it was a little too thick, so I just turned it into a little topper. And this is a fun interactive element from my Porch prints. It's just kind of like a 3D flip through. It has some, all these flowers have a little secret pocket here that you could put special prayer requests in or answered prayers, so you could go back and look at them later. So that's what that is. That's just a fun little thing. I actually got started on this. My Porch Prints had a kind of like, you know, a special where she does a craft along kind of thing for a journal, and I kind of started this with that. So, but I kind of I'm a slow crafter. It took me forever to finish it. She's very fast. This just has some tight side tucks over here. Raindrop Lila, Paper Daisy Journals. Like I said, these are all blank on the back. Most of them anyway. And like I said, these 4x6 cards will fit into here. Maybe even to get, you know, 5x7 in some. You just have to kind of play around with it and see. And there are no tuck spots on this page except for if you want to tuck something in along here. This is where I was going to put that rose. That was a little too fat, so I had to make another one that was flatter so the journal wouldn't just really be a gator mouth just because of one element. And this is actually from Angela Kerr. She has some beautiful kits, and she does a lot of YouTube videos, tutorials, and this is kind of some vintage doilies that she made actually pictures of or scans of, and I just put it in this journal as like a little tuck spot, like a hidden spot. And then this is a little tuck spot over here. And then this is a little element I added. I embroidered the top of this here and added this little ribbons to close it up. And it folds out. And there's a little tuck spot here for journaling cards. And a little bit of envelope here. And it has a little sentiment in there. And then it also folds out this way, so you could write on this spot if you wanted to. You could write here if you wanted to. And then you can just tie that back up. This is another hidden pocket here that's got this journaling card in it. If I can get it out. There we go. And you just untie the top here. I just put a ribbon through this little hole punch here. Oh, I did it this way. I had to make it extra hard for me to try to undo for video. Ha. I do these kinds of things to myself all the time. I don't know why. There we go. And so this just comes out like this. Comes out really easily. And it has journaling spots here and here. And the way that I distress my items, I don't do inking on the edges. I like a lighter look, so I use white dry paint on the edges, and then I will brush some areas on the journal. So that is an intention. It's not something I messed up. So I hope it looks intentional anyway. That was my goal. And this is envelope from The Apple of His Eye, and it has some cards in here. This is like a fun little heart unfolding origami type thing. Just a little envelope with a card in it. And then another Bible verse from Raindrop My Love. But like I said, you could clip something on here. You could clip something on there. You could clip, this does not have a tuck spot, so you could clip something at the top. And then this is another one. This has got a little side pocket here. And this is another one of these flip outs. I added a bunch of pearls here. There's a lot of pearls in this, little flat back pearls in this journal. There's not anything on the back of that because I think if you try to write on it, you'd bend that, and you probably wouldn't want to do that. But you could, attach something else back there. It's kind of whatever you want to do. This is not a tuck spot. I did glue that down. And then that is the last page and the back of the envelope. I didn't put anything back here because it was already getting awful chunky. And I just kind of left it alone. You could add something if you want to. I kind of would leave that up to somebody else. But that is my journal. I do have it listed on Etsy. You can kind of see it's not too gaitered. I can hold it like that, and it's very pretty on the side. Has a lot of things poking out if you like that, but then again, you could cut some of these things off if you don't. So that is my Love Blooms journal. If you would like my video, subscribe to my channel, or leave me a comment because I'd love to get some feedback on what people think about this little journal. Things they like, things I could improve on, and I will talk to y'all next time. Sorry it's been so long. It's just been a crazy spring for me. Till next time, bye-bye.